and I'm finally ready to announce the very first winner, and I'm going to play his video right now. Congratulations, dude. This story killed it, and it's just to show you what you can do with 1 minute when you're presented with that kind of challenge. You can do a lot.
And after watching this, you'll have a better idea of what we're kind of looking for.
And yeah, you have 1 day to do it. You have one more day to just get all your submissions out there. And congratulations to the winner.
Of course I will win. Wait, no, that's definitely not how I reacted during that time when I saw Erwan's story. It's just for the sake of a cool intro. Do you find it cool? I don't think so. I should stop doing this. So here's how I won the very first very first GoPro from Erwan and GoPro PH collaboration. And from the very start that it was announced to be a 1 minute video only, I knew I had to use a very quick face style of video that will leave the audience wanting more and leave an impact to them. Actually, sobrang nahirapan ako mag-isip ng isang concept for this video for a 1 minute film na maglilive ng impact sa ating mga audience and at the same time, visually appealing yung sequence. So I was challenged in a good way and have to think really creatively on how I will tackle this challenge. And the theme of Storytellers never die. The very first step that I took was to brainstorm. I actually listed 2 ideas but end up using my second idea, which has a travel back in time theme. Not literally yung magta-travel back in time tayo using a time machine or any kind of editing transitions or effects na magli-lead sa audience into thinking like that. But more of a symbolism, not really symbolism, but more of me showing myself looking at those old videos, watching or compiling those videos that I have recorded during the family gatherings, previous family gatherings, and trips with few of my closest friends and etc. So after ko makapili ng concept or theme, I moved on to the story and going back to the basics, which we as learners should go back to the basics, diba? This is the story arc where we have the clear beginning, middle, and end. And if you've been following Erwan and other superb storytellers, you would notice that the story of their videos, their content is the king. And somehow they are following the basic story arc of the story. Story arc of the story. Anyway, you get me, right? And at this point, don't worry about the effects or transitions just yet, because even if you have the coolest transitions or the trendiest effect, if your story is trash or no story at all, it will still be a trash. Parang harsh naman dun, Renz. Hindi. Ang ibig ko lang sabihin dito is, if you want to stand out from everyone, especially if you're joining a contest like this, you have to do extra effort. Diba? I'm not saying this to brag about it, but I don't want you to do the same mistake or mistakes that I did before, focusing on the effects and transitions without thinking about the concept or the story of my film. A quick little review of the story arc. We have the exposition, or originally called as the introduction. Dito sinasagot yung mga katanungan na who, where, and when of the story. Then, lalabas tayo papunta sa rising action. Ito yung triggering event, and this will lead our audience into thinking, saan ba patungo? Saan ba patungo itong film or storya natin? Then after that, we have the climax. Ito yung pinaka-highest peak ng ating tension of the story. At syempre, kung meron tayong rising action kanina, meron din tayong falling action where the narrative is being wrapped up. Then, after that, the end. And when I finalized the flow of the story arc, I now moved on to the storyboard. Just a background storyboard is just a simple illustration kung ano ba yung gusto mong sequence ng shots mo sa film, which also supports the story arc. Katulad lang to ng isang anime. So bago tayo magkaroon ng isang anime, kailangan muna natin ng isang manga. But hindi naman kailangan na sobrang tindi ng mga drawing mo, just like in manga, as long as nandun yung composition, different angles that will spice up your video, lightings, or other props that you would need for that. This is not a required step. You can just create a shot list, but I find it more easy in my workflow, di ba? Parang smooth yung workflow pag kinombine ko yung shot list and storyboard. Especially if I'm doing a special project or this film for a contest as well as a paid project, and just like this in my YouTube content. And now I will show you how this story arc and storyboard applies to my video entry for that contest, and this is the breakdown. And I will show you as well the actual storyboard that I created for this. Exposition. In my video, it's just a normal thing. Nagbabasa ako ng libro, then I suddenly get distracted by a notification message from a friend. And again, you don't have to have a very detailed sketch nung storyboard mo as long as nandun yung kailangan mo for that shoot, and it will guide you throughout the shoot. Then, you're good to go. There goes the rising action when I realized that the prize for this contest is GoPro Hero 9. Man, it's 26,000 pesos. That's so crisp. And to elevate the rising action, I paired it with quick zoom cut style, which is popularized by Edgar Wright on his films, and to show also how I prepare to join this contest. Actually, yung struggle ko dito is I want to show myself na nagsusuot ng jacket, but I can't do it in just 1 second or half a second. So what I did was I cut it into 2 parts. Kukuhanin ko yung jacket, bang! Then right on the spot na pagpalo sa akin nung jacket sa likod, I put the next shot of me fixing the jacket. Boom! I mean, filmmaking is a problem solving most of the times. So the climax, this is me struggling and exhausted in editing, and suddenly the scene zoomed through my eyes into the Premiere Pro timeline. And to be honest, this is the only trendy transition that I use. Others are just straight jump cuts. This is an easy transition. You just have to use it in the right context to sell it to the viewers, your audience. And if you want to know how to do this, there are a lot of tutorials out there, but if you want to know it through me, I'd be happy to make it simpler and easy for you to understand. Just let me know in the comment section below. So the following action is when I finally get to the editing, focus, then exporting, uploading, and then getting back to the message. And yeah, closing the laptop. And fun fact about that closing the laptop scene is that disk scratch thingy is actually my lens, the lens of my camera, scratching the surface of this laptop. Sabi ko noong una, tatanggalin ko yun kasi nga, parang pangit eh. But it turns out na gumanda yung sound design natin, and it made me realize that sometimes yung mistake natin sa shots and or a not so good part of the clips that we recorded may sometimes add value to our clips. So don't delete your clips just yet and wait until you edit it. So here comes the resolution or the end. Actually, I finalized this 10-second clip kinabukasan after ko mag-shoot and mag-edit because wala talaga akong maisip. And sometimes it's okay to just breathe, sleep through the night, then take on the challenge the next day kung kailan tayo makakaisip nung matinding idea. And originally, yung idea ko is to have a travel vlog like transitions, yung matitinding transitions. But I opted not to do that kasi parang overkill na eh. Puro rising action na yung makikita ng mga audience. So, hindi na rin makakasunod sa story yung audience. And so, I opt to have a happy mood, straight jump cuts again as the end of the story, which really fits into the story arc that I have chosen. And during the shoot, you might find problems that you have to solve on the spot. And it's the fun thing about filmmaking. You get to experiment things out. And yung mga pinilano natin, there's a storyboard, story arc, a shot list natin, might not just work out, but it's okay. It's frustrating, but it's okay because it's the reality. And again, we are creative filmmakers, so we have to solve it on the spot. in editing, again, don't stress so much about the transitions or effects. Lay out your story first, kung ano yung pinlano mo sa story arc or storyboard. Focus on that, and at the last part, dun mo lagyan ng sound effects and transitions, but don't ever overkill it. I saw a lot of videos na every other clip or every clip is merong transition, which is not doing good with the video, and I think they're thinking that adding that will fill the lack of story thereof. And I'm saying this for you not to do what I used to do before. It's my mistake, and I don't want it to be yours as well. And so that's how I did it. It might sound cumbersome at first to shoot or plan those things for just a 1-minute video film, but if you're really serious in stepping up your content creation game, diba, I suggest you consider those things that I have shared in this video. And a lot of content creators out there, I know that they are using the same concept or planning as well for their videos. Alright, that's it. So if you like this type of content, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you really want to have these types of contents on my next videos, please make sure to let me know, because I would really love to make things simple for you in leveling up your content creation game. So for those of you who are new here, I am renzdii Makulangan, or renzdii, saying start creating, start today. Peace out.